Welcome to MedScan Express by White Coat Hackers Media. In these explainers, we break down the future of health tech. And today, we're diving into something truly revolutionary, how we're teaching AI to become a master strategist in the war on cancer, giving doctors a crystal clear view of the battlefield inside a patient's body. So, let's just kick things off with this huge question. Seriously, think about it. What if, before any treatment starts, a doctor could turn to an AI co-pilot that lays out a full strategic plan, a plan that makes every single decision personal and incredibly precise? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening right now at the very edge of medical research. Now, to really get why an AI co-pilot is such a game changer, we first have to talk about one of modern medicine's most powerful and honestly most puzzling treatments: immunotherapy. And here's the paradox. On the one hand, immunotherapy is amazing. It's like unlocking our own body's army to fight cancer. But on the other hand, its success is just frustratingly unpredictable. For every patient who has a miraculous recovery, there are many others who don't respond, and they're left with the physical and financial burden of a treatment that just didn't work for them. And this, right here, is where AI comes in. Now, it's not about replacing doctors. Not at all. Think of it more like a high-tech recon team. It's sent in to map the entire battlefield and give the generals, the oncologists, the critical intelligence they need to make the winning call. So what kind of intelligence are we talking about? Well, the AI is fed something called multi-omics data. You can just think of this as the ultimate intelligence file on a tumor. It's not just one piece of info, it's everything. The genetics, the proteins, the metabolic functions. It's just layers and layers of data so vast that no human brain could possibly sort through it all. It gives the AI a complete 360-degree view of the enemy. The process itself seems pretty straightforward, right? But the power is just incredible. Step 1, you gather that huge intelligence dossier. Step 2 is where the magic really happens. The AI crunches this ocean of data, finding these tiny, hidden patterns that are totally invisible to the human eye. And all of that leads to step 3, a clear, data-driven prediction. Which brings us to the AI's first and maybe most critical mission: predicting with real accuracy who is actually going to benefit from immunotherapy. This is all about ending the guesswork. It's about getting the right treatment to the right person right from the very beginning. You know, the way we do it now often relies on just one single data point, a single biomarker, to make this huge life-altering decision. That's kind of like trying to predict the outcome of an entire war by just watching one soldier. It's not enough for a disease this complex. And here's what's possible when you use AI. Check this out. One study showed a model hit an incredible 93% accuracy predicting which bladder cancer patients would respond to a specific immunotherapy. I mean, to go from what is basically a shot in the dark to that level of precision, that is a gigantic leap forward. But a simple yes or no isn't enough to build a real strategy. So that brings us to the AI's second mission: mapping the entire battlefield. Scientists call this the tumor microenvironment, or TME. It's this whole complex ecosystem of cells and signals that the tumor creates to protect itself and grow. So let's look at what's on this map. The AI can spot all the key players. You've got the good guys, the tumor-infiltrating lymphocytes. These are our soldiers, the immune cells ready to go on the attack. But it also sees the enemy's defenses, like cancer-associated fibroblasts, which act like fortifications, blocking our soldiers. And maybe the scariest part, it can spot the cancer stem-like cells. These are like hidden enemy bases that can regrow the whole tumor even after treatment. Seeing this whole picture is a massive strategic advantage. Okay, so you've predicted the outcome, you've mapped the battlefield. What's next? Mission number 3. Using all of that intelligence to find a perfect weak spot for a precision strike. But this is not easy. As the research paper we looked at makes really clear, this is a daunting question. Finding and then confirming these perfect targets is one of the biggest challenges we have to solve before we can make truly personalized cancer vaccines a reality for everyone. So what exactly are these targets? They're called neoantigens. The best way to think of them is like unique little flags that only cancer cells raise because of their genetic mutations. If the AI can spot these specific flags, we can then design therapies that train a patient's own immune system to hunt them down while leaving all the healthy cells alone. And this is where AI is just so essential. It automates this incredibly difficult process. First, it scans the tumor's DNA, finding thousands of potential mutations. Then, it predicts which of those will actually show up as flags on the cell surface. And finally, the most important part, it validates which of those flags will trigger the strongest possible immune attack. It's all about finding the enemy's most critical vulnerability. Okay, this all sounds absolutely incredible. So the obvious question is, why isn't this already in every clinic? Let's take a look at the road ahead and the challenges we still need to get past. And yeah, the hurdles are real. First, you need data. A lot of it. AI is hungry, and we need more high-quality data to train these models properly. Second, there's the black box problem. For doctors to really trust an AI, they need to know why it made a certain prediction. And finally, the biggest hurdle of all, clinical translation. It's a massive leap to go from a cool model in a research lab to a trusted tool a doctor uses with patients every day. But here's the really exciting part. Despite all these challenges, the momentum is undeniable. Progress is getting supercharged by these huge public data sharing projects like the Cancer Genome Atlas. By making all this info available to everyone, researchers all over the world can build smarter AI, and they can do it faster than ever before.
Which leaves us with this one last, really provocative thought. Having an AI co-pilot for every oncologist, that's not some far-off dream anymore. It's an emerging reality. So the question is no longer if this technology is going to change cancer treatment, but simply, how soon?
If you want to keep up with more health tech breakthroughs just like this one, make sure you subscribe to White Coat Hackers Media so you don't miss our next explainer. Thanks for watching.